Welcome back to High, Wide, and Handsome, a racing podcast right here on the Arson Brothers Network. I am Matt Klein, joined by the full gang tonight. Starting, we'll go around the horn. Mr. Sean Allen is here. Mr. Jeff Griffith and Mr. Michael Sizemore. Gentlemen, how we doing? We'll start back with Sean.
Oh man, everything's going well. It's been a wild week around these parts, but we're surviving, man. We watched a lot of wrestling the past few days. Been keeping y'all updated of my rascalpades, if I will. We always bragging on our kids. Took a little trip up to our state capital. My son was part of a group where the governor was signing the Autism Acceptance Month proclamations. That was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
A lot of good stuff going on around these days, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet Baby Dog?
Sadly, wrong governor. I wish.
I figured they just left her there forever. She just gets the governor's mansion, no matter who's the governor.
She really is the governor.
Yeah. We'll check in with Jeff Griffith. How you doing, sir?
Oh, doing fantastic, man. Just kind of coming down off trying to watch as much racing as possible this weekend. Had to go to Bristol last week. Unfortunately, it wasn't for racing. It was for work-related things. But won a nice award from my store there, so I was very proud of it.
Nice.
And, yeah, so just ready to talk racing with my buddies.
There you go. Very cool. Congrats on the award. How about you, Mr. Michael Sizemore?
It's as y'all know, I don't know if our listeners, watchers know, I work a week and then I'm off a week, so I've been on my work week, getting ready to wrap that up tomorrow, so I've just been trudging along. We are recording this show today on April the 20th, 2026, a day that was declared by Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell as Todd Snyder Day. So
that's right.
I know a lot of the bros here Todd Snyder fans, so wanted to give a shout out for Todd Snyder Day. And old Fast Freddie, if you get those fairgrounds renovations approved, you might become my favorite mayor in all of Tennessee. Sorry, Kane.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. I did see that as well. Very, very cool for Todd Snyder Day in Nashville. Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. I'm here as well and doing okay. Not up to much over the weekend. We took in a lot of racing, though, and that's what we're going to get into. We'll roll right into it, I guess. That puts us on the lead lap where we dissect the thing called NASCAR. And we had quite a weekend in Kansas City. We're going to start with the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, which started owl, indeed. And it started with an owl. It's right out the gate. We saw a wild flip down the backstretch. Really peculiar to see this at Kansas, I thought. It just seemed, I mean, it was a violent flip and a violent hit to the wall, talking of Carson Kvapil's accident, but just to see that at Kansas, it's one of those things, and yeah, every once in a while, a mile and a half or something like that, you see a flip pop up, but it is rare, and it was just wild to see, and especially right there at the first of the race.
Yeah, and considering like the next day, there were no cautions at all until, I'm sure we'll talk about the Cody Ware one later, but yeah, you have that insane, dangerous-looking wreck. I think Kvapil is all right. Like, I haven't heard any reports that he had any kind of serious injuries or anything, but it looked pretty rough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I actually didn't get to start the O'Reilly race right on time. I had it recorded, and I got home, and I just happened to open my Twitter not long after the race had started, and I just saw a tweet from Dirty Mo. It was like, Travis Kvapil's out of the car and okay. And I was like, what in the world's going on? They ain't been racing long. And then when I started, I was like, oh, my God. That was crazy, Matt, what you sent today, that thing that you found where his dad had like an almost identical wreck.
Yeah, Kentucky, when he was driving in the RCR car, had a very similar accident. I was come across on Instagram today. I didn't remember that accident, but really interesting that it was so similar to his father and son parallel there.
Yeah, man, it was absolutely terrifying is what it was. And then the time it took, which for good reason, NASCAR had to be very careful getting him turned back over and everything. It was kind of like just holding your breath until I was very, very relieved when they turned him over. It seemed like he was already kind of cutting himself loose and like, get me out of here. So that was good. It was good to see that. Man, it was terrifying. One of the worst I've seen in a minute, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that car had so much momentum. Like, even after it turned over, it traveled so far on the roof of the car.
Yeah, and it was more, I mean, at the Daytona Talladega, while we have saw some of those violence, most recently we saw more of the blowover situation, and that was, and I mean, this arguably, I guess, was, but it's a little different in the violence of the landings. It looked really brutal the way it landed, and that initial hit into the wall was really nasty as well. Just a nasty accident, just kind of a frequent for Kansas, really.
Yeah, and he was just racing there with his teammates, so nobody was really trying to
racing for the lead.
Yeah,
it really sucked, man, because Carson, like last year, I thought like he had like so much. I saw like a lot of potential in him, but he wasn't really doing it. This year, I think he's been running really well.
Yeah,
and it's like one of those things where I'm like, man, he's like really starting to look like the guy that I thought he would be, and it really stunk for that to happen to him, and also for Parker. I mean, Parker, he just couldn't lift. I mean, that happened too close to him.
Oh, yeah.
And really ruined his day, too, man. So, really kind of a crappy start to the day for both of those guys who are really just having great years. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's the interview with Kvapil after that was his first thing. He was just disappointed they were going to have a bad points day.
Yeah.
So, which, speaks that he was okay, and we're glad for that. And like I said on Parker Redsclough, man, I mean, nowhere to go. He certainly was initiated the airborne, but I mean, not of anyone's fault there. And really not the accident at all. I think Byron kind of came up and got into him. They just kind of met, just racing as far as that. But, yeah, I saw Redsclough fell. Hurt him in the points a bit, too. Dropped
pretty
down
bad.
a bit. Got that somewhere, but... Yeah, it fell back to 11th when they were up in the top 10, which, I mean, that's still solid for that team, but definitely a hurtful day.
Yeah.
Also, later in the race, we saw an incident between Jesse Love and his teammate Austin Hill. Hard racing, which we saw, in my opinion, we saw no contact from Jesse Hill. He was racing him very hard, and Austin Hill lost control. Austin Hill very frustrated with some rough comments in his interview about that. Be curious your guys' thought on that, and then I'll give mine.
Even your teammate don't like you, big country.
Hey, I mean, when it comes to things going on in Richard Childress racing right now, man, everything's great. Everything's fine. Can't wait to get back in the cars next week. Everything's great. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I bet Jesse Love said, I'd like to see Austin Hill switch me cars and see how he does it.
Oh, I agree that it was hard racing by a teammate, but also the turn of that, Austin Hill buried it in there under Jesse, racing hard as well, so you got raced hard back. I don't know. I don't really put much fault on Love in the situation. Or on Austin, really. It was just hard racing. Yeah, it was between teammates. You might expect a little more there, but I don't know. I thought Austin kind of buried it in there on him, so I don't really blame Jesse. And as you just said there, I'm not sure there's any love loss in that RCR camp on the O'Reilly side.
No, I don't think anybody that works there likes anybody else.
I mean, I think Austin and Pop are still on good terms.
That might be the only relationship that's holding for both Austins and Pop.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. I meant the other one, but I guess both of them do apply.
Ty seems to be back in good graces as well. He was the one who hired Cleetus, from my understanding. So, Cleetus, he's probably all right.
Can't we just get along, guys?
Speaking of, we'll touch that. It's announced today Cleetus will make his return in the O'Reilly Series. It wanted to be Talladega this weekend. It will not be. He will be at Nashville, announced today. So that'll be certainly something to look forward or to at least watch going forward.
I don't know. I heard after the ARCA race, he said his sponsor might fire him.
That is what he said. We'll certainly get into that. Moving along in the O'Reilly Series race, it was a heartbreak, though, for Brandon Jones, who absolutely dominated most of the day. Brandon Jones, Kansas is his playground. He's so good at this track. It's just, when we've talked about this here, just seeing certain guys can get that feel for a track, and Brandon Jones certainly has it at Kansas. He's done it across driving for multiple teams, been fast there. But nonetheless, it was not to be, as we saw a brilliant strategy call by Jason Ratcliffe, who's certainly no stranger to victory lane in this series, and he proved it again. Taylor Gray, they pitted early, and it just ate up a good chunk of time and got way out front, and they no one could run them down. Taylor Gray got his second career win.
Yeah, it's a good little win there.
Had it wrapped up, man. I was really just, I'd done figured he'd won. So yeah, good job on Taylor, man. And honestly, good, like you said, his crew chief. Good call. We saw that so many times this year. Good pit strategy can win you a race, and we saw it many times over this season in all the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, strategy is part of it, like it or lump it. That's the way it goes. But yeah, sucks for Brandon Jones. Excuse me, certainly. I thought a pretty solid race, kind of a brutal race there. It was a lot of cautions in that one, which in turn, as I was mentioned earlier, none going into what we're about to get to. Just very interesting, the contrast between the two races over the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know, Cody left his arm itch there on the end of this next one.
All right, let's get into it.
Oh, Lord.
Cup Series action from Kansas Speedway, where a very old school kind of race, long green flag runs. We saw, as we've been talking, the only cautions until the end were for the stage breaks. We saw, it seemed to be if you got out front, you were gone. But then the restarts, what few we got were all pretty wild. You could feel it. If there was going to be a last one, and it ended up being, you could feel that it was probably going to be wild, and it certainly was. But we'll get into some of the middle before we get to that finish. We'll start with kind of pre-race antics, as Kyle Busch took heavy exception to Denny Hamlin's podcast comments, which we discussed here last week, actually. Kyle was very seemingly upset, said he could make Denny's life hell, and he did kind of try to, as Denny was lapping him, which is kind of the joke as well, that was going to be the situation. But nonetheless, he certainly raced him quite hard, putting him a lap down, and Denny obviously prevailed by the end of the thing. And then Kyle Busch and team, they blew a tire or something. They went behind the wall for like 30 laps and worked on that thing to come back out. Just more frustration in the Richard Childress camp. But
in 2026, Kyle Busch saying, "I'm going to make your life hell" to somebody is about as big a threat as like a 3-year-old saying they're going to make somebody's life hell. 3-year-olds can do it more because they're annoying and you have to deal with them all the time. But I mean, what's he going to do? Sell him some bad insurance? I mean, this guy doesn't have the car, and I don't think he has the ability anymore. I think, he's washed, he's in bad equipment. Just, take your licks and go home. Go, enjoy your wife and your kids, and it's over, Kyle.
There was a clickbait comment if I've ever heard one. But so other than Size, who just did all that craziness, what do y'all think? Kyle said that he would gladly switch Denny, basically, and see if Denny could do any better in the equipment he's in, which I'm sure Pop loves that. But anyway, what do y'all think? You think Denny could run better in the 8?
Yes, anybody could.
Not you.
Kyle cannot drive the next-gen cars. He can't do it.
Not you. Anybody else?
I'll say, judging by the number of times Austin Dillon has outperformed him, and even again at Kansas by a large margin, I would have to say yes at this moment. And it ails me a bit to say it. I don't know. But I don't think it is necessarily Kyle's ability. And I think we've saw this many times throughout Kyle's career. When he gets frustrated, he falls apart on the track, and he is beyond frustrated right now. So I think, is the ability winding down with age? Yeah, probably, because it happens to everyone. Is it fully gone? No, I don't think so. I think the cars are certainly a problem, although, as I said, Austin's getting a little more out of him. But man, when Kyle gets frustrated, he's very hard to deal with. We've saw it his whole career. Even at times he's come out of it and peaked. But I don't know. I think they certainly are going to have to look at a possibly crew chief change. And I know that's crazy because they just brought pull him up from JR Motorsports, but it's clearly not working even on getting a long point, and it's becoming public. Maybe it's worse public than it is private. We don't know that, but I don't know. There's just a lot going on there. But yes, at the end of the day, I do think Denny could probably get a little more out of the 8 car right now. And just that kind of speaks on the next gen in general. Kyle struggled that last bit at JGR in the next gen as well.
He did.
I just refuse to believe when I don't agree with saying that Kyle's washed. I don't think he's washed. I think he is, like you said, he's lost a step. Sure. Everybody does with age. I still think there's other opportunities out there for him where that he could perform better than we're seeing out of him now.
Yeah. Next year, when Kyle goes to Spire and he still runs 25th to 30th every week, maybe y'all say I was right. I'll make a note to remind y'all that I was right.
Hey, I'm not saying you're fully wrong, at least.
No.
I think to me the biggest problem right now for Kyle, obviously performance, but is the kind of attitude stuff that we're seeing reoccur from his younger year and that reputation coming back to him. That a Spire or anyone else, are they even going to want to deal with that? Yeah. I don't know that he's not hurting himself more with his antics as he is his on-track performance.
The man still makes money for a team, though. He's still somebody that sponsors. He's a name that sponsors are going to stick their, put a value on and stick their sponsorship on his car, and he's going to sell merch. So, I mean, he's not going to lose a ride. But the rumors, at the beginning of the season was, HMS. Is he going to go back to HMS? I think that there's no chance of that.
Oh, no.
With the new old attitude. They dealt with that attitude once, and they're definitely not going to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a definitely no-go.
I mean, when you mentioned Spire, and I have to say the one time I saw Kyle look truly happy this year was that truck race that he won with Carson.
Yeah.
And he already felt like a Spire driver. I felt like that was him saying, this is where I'm going to be. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I think that's what's going to happen. And I think we are going to see a little bit different Kyle. We're going to see a Kyle that wants to be at a place that he's at.
But now wait a minute. One of the reasons he felt that way is he was running good. In that truck. That's a big thing. True. I mean, and I like Kyle, but I mean, if he goes to Spire, and now Spire has actually ran, we've seen really well this year, but we know that there's been years they haven't. So if he gets over there and the performance ain't where it is even right now, we probably see more of the same, honestly. But hey, like you said, Kyle Busch ain't losing a ride. He can get a ride. He's not going to be out here thumbing for a ride or something.
If he goes to Spire and they kick Amigo out, I'll never eat another Chili's or use whatever other sponsorship Spire has. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
He'll never ride the Dente again.
Yeah.
I don't think Suarez is going anywhere.
He should. He's performing incredibly well in that equipment. Well, not incredibly well, but for the equipment, doing well.
Pretty well. Yeah, I think McDowell's certainly probably the weak point over there this year, or at least so far this season. He does, from everything you hear, bring a very kind of leadership structure to the program. So that's a question of, will they want that or not. But Suarez is a one-year deal. We do know that. But I'm like you. I don't know how you can dump him based off his current results for sure.
I think McDowell's a guy who he's a racer, so racers don't want to get off the track, but I think he's at the point in his life where if you put him in an office job or a management job with your racing team, that he is going to be a valuable asset there, and more so than putting him on the track.
Yeah.
And Kyle, we saw in recent weeks, Kyle could be that leader position. He's got the attitude for it.
I mean, we've saw it at times, I suppose. But
don't let him lead you to Mexico. He might not come home.
Oh, the long forgotten storyline. All right, let's move on.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was just going to say, I did see that Kyle did an interview with Sean Hannity. Did you guys see this?
I saw that it happened, but I haven't saw any of it.
First off, what makes you think that I'm going to watch an interview with Kyle Busch? And secondly, what makes you think I'm going to watch an interview with Kyle Busch and Sean Hannity?
Valid.
I saw that, and I was like, I just thought it was worth bringing up.
I'm stunned to learn. I just now learned that Sean Hannity still exists. So that's what I'm shocked at right now. But okay.
Oh, goodness. All right. Nonetheless, the caution that changed everything. It looked like Denny Hamlin had Kansas wrapped up unbelievably quick there at the end. And then coming literally almost looking at the white flag, we saw Cody Ware 6 laps down go for a spin, cause the caution, and a late restart, which we'll break down. But first we'll talk about this caution, as Denny Hamlin after the race was extremely upset, criticizing Cody. Michael Jordan snuck in there teasing him as he was upset. Was one of the greatest things I've ever saw. But nonetheless, I don't know. There's a lot of conspiratorial talk back out there today. One with Reddick's win, two with Cody Ware's spin. I personally, obviously, not buying any of that. There's footage of Cody Ware's car for the last handful of laps. He was complaining how loose he was. He couldn't drive this thing. Finally lost it at an ill-timed, if you're Denny, moment at least. What do you guys think of that final caution?
Nobody wants to see a backmarker team affect a race like that. I mean, it's just not something you want to happen in the sport, but it does. It's something that does happen. And I just don't, if it had been another Toyota driver, maybe, if it had been somebody that, has some kind of connection with 2311 or something like that, maybe. But why would Cody Ware just spin out? I mean, MJ going over there and just handing them giving Rick a stack of cash on top of his other giant stacks of cash from selling charters.
I mean, brother, you can speak for yourself, but that's the greatest thing I ever seen Cody Ware do. I would have hugged that man's neck when that car spun around right there. But, it's just the conspiracy theory nonsense. It's just what it is. It's nonsense. I mean, it's people got to cry, whine, complain about every little thing. If somebody's winning, they got to be cheating. Well, you know what? When your driver or team or whatever you pull for is winning, you won't feel that way. And Oh my gosh, it's just whining. That's what it is. Did anybody notice that Michael Jordan's hand is as big as Denny's entire head? Did they see that? Sorry, that was my takeaway from this whole thing, is how big that man's hands are.
Or how small Denny's head is.
It may be.
I don't think you win 6 NBA titles having small hands. I think you can palm Denny head with those.
Well, the one thing I'll say about the conspiracy talk, as far as like Cody Ware spinning out, I do believe that NASCAR probably was like happy to have a overtime finish because of excitement. I think that they were going to be eager to call a caution, but I don't think that they were eager to call a caution because it was for Tyler. I think they was just like, this adds excitement, if anything. However, he did spin out into the track. I mean, there was a legitimate reason for there to be a caution as well. He didn't spin off onto pit road. He didn't spin off, off the track. I mean, he was a legitimate danger there. So
he came back up the track in front of Denny while leading, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, we called it last week that Cody Ware was going to be in a high-profile feud. So, in a way, and somehow it all connects back to Kyle Busch. So, it's wild.
It really is. Oh, my goodness. All right, but nonetheless, that's set up for the wild overtime shootout, which... Well, it looked for a minute like Larson pulled away, had the thing. Hamlin, frustrated with Larson on the restart, said he didn't get a push, but then I think he finally conceded. He realized Larson was not going to push him, and he was frustrated, said Larson's beat him with that same move before. I guess when will you learn to take the top side, Mr. Hamlin, on those restarts? But nonetheless, you don't know what's going to happen. But Denny was frustrated with that. Then, but we saw Larson, that bold move went under Denny, got the lead. And then it looked like Bell had a power move coming, but Reddick said that was not to be, got into him. There was a lot of people got into everyone. Reddick had a crazy run, though, after that. He got into Bell. Bell got in the wall, broke a toe link. That killed my fantasy day when that moment happened. Yeah, I know there, Sean. We'll get into that. But nonetheless, Reddick with a crazy drive got around Larson. Larson ran him down the track a little bit. I did notice that. Not super egregious, but a little bit, which everyone was kind of doing. Bell had ran, or someone had ran down the track and got Denny way down there. It was a really wild restart. But it was not to be denied. Tyler Reddick just doing what he does, man, those drives. And just, it's like he can, I don't know, man. He's just doing the thing. I don't know what more you can say.
He has found the way to seal the deal when he needs to. I mean, it just is what it is. On that restart, going back to that restart for just a second, did anybody else think this is getting eerily similar to the last trip to Kansas? Because we had Denny up there with one of his drivers beside of him. A guy named Chase had 4 fresh tires, and Chase Elliott did in 10th. Chase Briscoe did in 11th. And I'll tell you, Briscoe was coming, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the element that I kind of forgot there. Briscoe was super fast and involved, not to cut you off.
Man, one more lap and it wouldn't have mattered because he was flying on those 4 times. So, just random. I thought it was really getting similar to last time out. But not to be. Reddick, man, he just did what he's been doing all season. And I don't know, people can make all the excuses they want, but Reddick is phenomenal right now.
And he is riding on momentum like nothing, man. I mean, it's just that momentum. And that's the thing in sports, and that's the thing people have to understand, too. In sports in general, when you get on a certain momentum train, things just flow. And that's what he's doing right now. He's hitting on all cylinders, pun intended. And, I mean, it's just, if you put him in those opportunities, there's a good chance he's going to win. And that's what he's doing.
Honestly, Tyler drove that car well. He was fast, and I thought he was going to wreck because you saw Larson get into him a little bit, and you got a little bit wonky there just for a second. I thought we were going to see the same thing happen to Bale. I thought, okay, well, there goes Reddick. Larson's got this wrapped up. But he just flew up there and handled the car well and shows just what kind of driver he is. And I know I've looked on social media today, and I've seen so many crazy rants about how the Toyotas are cheating, how Michael Jordan got more horsepower from NASCAR because of the lawsuit and all this other stuff. And just look at the driver. That's all you have to do is just look at the guy driving the car. Look at how good this guy can get this car going so fast and control it so well. And that's got nothing to do with a lawsuit. You can't soup up the talent that Tyler Reddick has.
Look, here's the deal. If you know anything about motorsports, you know that Tyler Reddick is a dang good driver. A lot of us have known this for a really long time. And so if you didn't think all it took was him to get that right equipment going, then you're crazy. Reddick is probably a top 5 guy in the series on just pure driving talent. He's always been really good. We're talking about that 8 car. Reddick ran dang good in that 8 car for a long time. So, and ran really good at RCR in Xfinity and Junior Motorsports in Xfinity and so on. It's all that's just silliness, man. Reddick is a darn good driver. Yeah. Right now, look at the elite company he's sitting in. The only other guys to win 5 of the first 9 are Cale, Dale, and Richard Petty. So I don't want to hear all this whining and crying because, Michael Jordan will pass you a $100 bill to dry your tears on. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said there, for even just his tenure in the Cup Series, we've heard it said for a long time since he's been in the Cup Series that Reddick has the potential to be an elite driver, a championship driver. Now it's happening, and everybody's freaking out. So I don't know.
It's like sometimes that first of all, you can't listen to the crap on the internet, but it's like people can't get their head around that things change. People can be really good and grow and learn and get even better, and and sometimes your circumstances are better. And look how fast the Toyotas in general are right now. Toyota's won 7 of the first 9, right? Yeah. Come on, man. They're that fast, and when a driver is that good, these are the kind of results you're going to see. It is what it is.
And look at 23XI as a whole. Bubba running great. Right. All 4 cars in the top 15 yesterday. Riley and Corey Haim both. Racy all day. So, just that whole organization is on fire right now. Arguably the top team in the series right now. Overall.
I think it is. And, and I'll say it. And I'll say this right now too. Speaking of that, I love to give Jeff a hard time about his Corey Haim fandom. But I'm telling you something. If you're a person out there and you're looking for a young driver to pull for, and you want somebody that's going to win, get on that bandwagon now. Because that kid is the real deal. He is going to win a lot of Cup races too. Pretty soon, he'll be the person that everybody's whining about on the internet that, oh my God, they're winning so much.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
Last year in the trucks if more people watch trucks.
Yeah.
No doubt. And that Reddick gained on his points lead, now up 105 over his boss, Denny Hamlin, now in second spot.
Yeah.
Just dominance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, and we didn't mention in the O'Reilly series, same thing with Justin.
Yeah.
Gosh, these leads are crazy.
Yeah.
It is. We are seeing two dominators so far. But I mean, point standing wise, it's really interesting.
Kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum. I mean, I'm not going to say Tyler's a young driver, but I mean, he's been in this Cup Series for since like 2021, so barely over 5 years. And Allgaier's on the opposite end of the spectrum. A wily old vet down there in O'Reilly. So, it's kind of cool. I like that. I like seeing some of the guys we've been watching for a decade, like Allgaier, doing well, and I like seeing a guy that who's quickly became a guy that I know all four of us, and I'm sure there's thousands of others like us who've really watched this guy grow and become huge fans of the driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, before we head out of NASCAR, we'll certainly mention our fantasy league. We touched it a little bit there. Shawn brought home a big win. Not a big win, points-wise anyway. A tight win. You and the crew chief Kendall are tight.
Let me tell you something. Shawn was about 40 points down going into that last lap. So thank you, Bell and Briscoe, for everything y'all did for me. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Bell killed me there, and I think hurt crew chief Kendall, who did maintain his points lead, but y'all are close, like 19 points or something like that, I think. I hung on the third, and Size and Jeff rounding it out there.
Well, I just want to say, right before the race yesterday, I got this wild idea, and I made a driver switch, literally, like, at the last minute possible. Something told me Corey Haim yesterday was going to run, and not that he ran bad, but something told me. I had him in the garage. I subbed Kyle Larson for Corey Haim.
Wow.
And if I would have kept Corey in, I had kept Kyle in. I can't help but think, because everyone, I had Busher, I had Bubba, I had Tyler, I had Chase. Like, I have to wonder if I'd have had Kyle in there too, what could have been different.
Yeah, that was a bold choice that did not pay off.
Yeah. Well, when you're as far behind as I am, you got to take some wild swings, like some of these. That's trying a different strategy, a different pit strategy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I didn't get a chance to look at my fantasy. I was working yesterday, so I didn't. It's kind of busy. Didn't get a chance to look at my phone, but I had Suarez on the bench, so if I put him in, it wouldn't help me any.
Fun stuff, though. Play NASCAR Fantasy. It's very fun. Gets you.
Yeah,
I mean, you can even play just yourself and play on the overall, which my overall is bad, but nonetheless.
Next season, if you're interested, let us know. We'll start a league for the High, Wide, and Handsome fans.
I was thinking about that.
Fans and followers in with us.
Thought about that as well. We could definitely start up another league if anyone would be interested.
Be a good time.
Be really awesome, actually.
All right. Anything else from NASCAR, though, before we move along?
Yeah. So, I was going to mention one thing real quick, man. I know we need to move on, but I can't, because it's near and dear to my heart, I guess. But, man, the 24 and William Byron, bro. I was thinking I was going to pick on Size and say right now he won the way he ran in fantasy last year. Right now he's the William Byron of our but dude, I'm telling you, we talk about the how great things are going at Toyota, but man, in some parts of Chevy, things are really down right now, and I'm stumped by watching the Byron camp right now.
They ended up with a finish though, ended up 7th.
Yeah, but man, just through the race, Lordy, I was like, where?
I had Byron. He ended up in my garage, of course, which I actually wish I would moved him out there. That restart where he got 7th, but Judging by the practice numbers, I thought Byron was going to be better than Larson, and he was really fast in practice, which, I mean, Larson was fast as well, but I thought Byron was the Hendrick car this week, but, man,
I did too.
It was not to be.
Yeah.
No, I think a lot of that 7th place too had to do with the tire strategy too, which don't get me wrong, that's how it goes. But anyway, I was going to mention that, man. It just surprises me watching them because last year they were fast everywhere. It felt like so.
Well, and I just want to mention real quick, and I know we don't have time to get into this because it's a much deeper conversation, but you're talking about problems with Chevys, and big Trackhouse fan here, and I'm telling you, it's downright depressing to watch what's happening with Trackhouse right now. And I mean, like I said, we don't have time to get into that, but I'll just say things are looking really bad at Trackhouse, and I don't know what the solution is. I told Matt earlier, they need to find every reset button available and press them all, because I don't know, nothing seems to be working on pretty much any level there right now. And that's 3 very talented, very popular drivers that are running laps down back of the pack. They're back there saying hey to Cody Ware, and that's not cool.
Hey, that's a good place to be. Denny, Hamlin, everybody's doing it. Don't worry about it.
I think Radiohead wrote a song about that. Karma Police. Arrest this team.
Well, I don't know about all that, but Trackhouse is struggling big time. They got, I would say, dire problems. I mean, that team, they've created themselves to be a high-profile team. Ross with the, high-profile Busch sponsorship. Obviously, Connor coming in, SVG created himself to be a high-profile, and he had started out solid, but it's all, even on that side, fell apart now. Ross, as a guy who has won at Kansas, I mean, he was literally back there with Cody Ware all day yesterday. No offense, Cody Ware, but that just puts you how bad they're running right now. It's a problem.
I mean, we know Ross is a championship caliber driver. He should be up there contending. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he's elite, but he's a contend for the championship driver, and that's just, I don't know. It's like he's not even there. He's so far back that it's like he's not even there anymore.
Yeah. And
so that's a real bummer. But shout out to RFK. Just want to say another great day. That's all I got.
Solid day for RFK again, indeed. RFK was definitely looking like the top Ford team yesterday. Penske did not show up.
I've been saying it for weeks. You know, that one guy's going to call me a buffoon again, but that's fine. Maybe I am.
if that guy only knew.
That's right.
Both things can be true. All right, that will wrap up our lead lap segment. We'll roll on as we look forward to Talladega. Woo! All right. That moves us beyond the banking, where we look at IndyCar, F1, all things major auto racing outside, and we'll start on a down note, unfortunately, as at the Nürburgring, we saw a tragedy on Saturday. They were doing a Saturday race and a Sunday race. There was a multi-car accident that saw a 66-year-old Finnish driver, and forgive me with the pronouncement, Juha Mehitanen, and I do apologize, I'm sure that's incorrect, but nonetheless, sadly lost his life and some other injuries in that crash as well. So that we had to see. And then Sunday, they did cancel all the Saturday racing. They ran Sunday. Max Verstappen was there, and he had a very, very touching and nice tribute to Juha and the family before that race, which I thought was certainly a class act. And then Max went out, and that team led a lot of the race, ended up having a hole in the front splitter that cost them the victory. But just certainly wanted to mention that and the tragedy and say thank you for everyone. It's always, anyone in the racing community. Just hate to see something like that.
Yeah, it's something, that's happened from time to time in the sport that we love, and it's just something that, every time it's just heartbreaking and horrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was actually pretty unfamiliar with this whole race, and I went looking for highlights today and was watching them, and thankfully that wasn't there. That wasn't, on there. But I will say the crashes on this course were like, I mean, I've got my notes here, devastating crashes. Some of those crashes, man, they're hitting that guardrail, especially coming down that one, you know what I'm talking about, that one hill with the curve there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And like I said, the footage I was watching was just eerie, man, because like there was no commentary. It reminded me of, like, for those of you who may know McDowell County, where I'm from, it reminded me of almost like racing down Bradshaw Mountain full speed, like just some of it. It looks like a very dangerous course, but yeah, Max was looking really fast on a lot of that there, man. So it's a shame that he had that splitter problem, but the car looked really sick. So.
Yeah, it did. It was a very cool looking car, and I was unfamiliar with this particular race as well. I'd been keeping up with it a bit just because I'd saw Verstappen and some of the videos coming out that they were doing it, so I'd been somewhat following it. But certainly hated it in tragedy. But yeah, but Nürburgring, widely known as the toughest and factually the most deadly track in the world. It's just it's insane. I've played it on Gran Turismo and things of that nature, but it's a tough one. It's nuts. And I saw a lot of, and clearly it's worlds away from us, but a lot of debate over their guardrail or wall structure. And I mean, I don't know, but judging by what I'm like with Jeff, what I saw yesterday or over the weekend, they definitely need to look at something. And worth noting, Kenny Wallace was just over there. It was one of his dreams to drive on Nürburgring, the famed track, and he went over with a friend of his, and they did something more akin to what we'd probably call Skip Barber's school situation, and rented like a GT looking car and did some laps. So it just kind of makes it even a little more eerie or closer to home, I guess, for us.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we'll move on to IndyCar. Or first, we'll go to IMSA, actually. The opening show, if you will. Don't tell them I said that. At Long Beach. Pretty wild one. IMSA on that tight course. They had a 100-minute race. It's not their typical endurance race, which definitely you could tell a difference. Is right out the gate, we saw crazy racing going down into turn one, and that, mind you, is from at least full speed. It's like 180 down to first gear, like a super tight turn one. Wow. We saw them diving it in there. I want to note Robert Wickens, he had put it on the pole and led a lot of the race in the GTD class. You remember Wickens had that horrible accident at Pocono in IndyCar, lost use of his legs, so he's doing it all with hand controls now. We've saw him for a few years, but he was really putting on a show for a lot of this, and I thought that was certainly worth noting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I noticed on that driver change, they had to kind of like lift him out of there.
Yeah,
but that was the. He was.
That's his. I think it's interesting too. That is his guy. Like that guy's job that gets him out of the car. That is his job and his specific guy that does it. They've been together for a long time. Like it's a very well-oiled machine on that. It's really interesting and awesome to watch. Actually,
yeah, that's cool.
Instead of a tire changer, they got a driver changer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome, though. It really is.
I mean, you got to think it's something you need to do quickly, and you get a guy trained up who can do it right.
Yeah, yeah, it's super interesting. It's just super cool all around. I love that story of Robert Wickens and his comeback from that horrible deal at Pocono. But it was not to be for the win, unfortunately, for Wickens. As in the GTD, Aaron Tilletz and Benjamin Pedersen took their Lexus to victory lane, ending a long drought for that team. They were very excited. And then Ringer van der Zande holds off the Cadillac to take their accurate victory lane as well. But it was a fun race to watch, especially I like the shortened IMSA races. I love the endurance as well, but the short ones are super fun. They're way more intense.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome, man. I was watching it. I was really into it. It's kind of cool to see Meyershank get that win.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to carry up the IndyCar there and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I thought my guy was going to win that IndyCar race. But yeah, still, I thought the IMSA was awesome, and I was really impressed with it, man.
Yeah, super fun.
I have in my notes here. Around like the 25-minute mark, that was when it got like really crazy there with like bumpers coming off, and like it was like they were like going for it, man, like just jostling around there. It was awesome.
It was. I mean, they was beating and banging. I mean, dude spun dude out at one point. It was really, really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. IMSA rules, man.
Yeah, IMSA's a good time. It takes a minute to kind of figure it out as far as watching them with the multi-classes, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
That puts us nicely right into IndyCar, who's also at Long Beach, and as Jeff said, Meyershank Racing got the win. Looked like they were going to get another one, but it was not to be. Rosenquist led a lot of the race. We saw first, before we get that, a really interesting strategy by Joseph Newgarden and that crew. They decided to do a 3-stop strategy, which would put them out longer at times. But, man, when they came back on the track, they were so fast. Mm-hmm. It was really wild to watch. And Newgarden making some extreme overtakes, we'll say. And one of those finally got him as he got into that. He drove in too hard and ended up flat spotting his tires, actually, and then just a few laps later, he had a flat. Blew out a big chunk of the carbon fiber of the car that was laying on the track, set up that caution, in which we saw Rosenquist dreams be denied. Alex Palou and team doing what they do, got out front, and they were absolutely gone when they got out front. I wanted to note it was on, as far as for Chip Ganassi Racing, the 30th anniversary of their first win at the same track there at Long Beach, Jimmy Vasser, 30 years ago. So that was at least kind of a cool little moment. But yeah, heartbreaker for Rosenquist.
Yeah, I thought for sure Rosenquist had got it, man. I mean, but the moment that pit stop, when I saw Palou get out in front, I was like, well, it's over. He's not catching it. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I would have loved to saw Rosenquist win. I love Meyershank. I love Rosenquist. But I have nothing against Palou, dude. And I mean, we've talked about it before. It's cool seeing what we're seeing with him. So, I mean, yeah, he got out front and it was over.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, as soon as I saw it, it was like, oh. And again, nothing against Palou, but I was kind of hoping Rosenquist could pull it off. But yeah, when he got out front, he was gone. But it was a fun one there at Long Beach. One of the longest standing tracks on the schedule, the street course out there. And always puts on pretty good shows. Such a tight course, it's hard. It's just, there's no room to pass, really. What few spots it is are pretty breathtaking maneuvers anyway.
Yeah, that was what I noticed too, man. I mean, that's a really hard track to pass on. But I will say, I mean, just aesthetically, that is a beautiful course. Like, it's so cool seeing, going by that fountain, and like, I don't know, I loved it, man. I like seeing both IMSA and IndyCar there. So, cool stuff. Dig it.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't mind seeing it in person someday.
Yeah, that would be incredible. That would be awesome. It'd be a cool weekend with those two, the way they do the back. Yeah. All right, that's going to wrap up this week's Beyond the Banking. That puts us to the Bullring Report, where we break down short tracking, dirt tracking, all those type of good things. Although we're starting with a bit bigger track, we are going to cover ARCA at Kansas here. Yes, far cry from a short track, but it's a good place for the ARCA boys. Yeah, on the Bullring Report. So Cleetus back in the field, and I guess as Size alluded to earlier, I guess he's fired. As he said his sponsor was going to fire him if he didn't have a top 10. He sponsored himself, so.
I think he said Garrett was going to fire Cleetus.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes by Talladega this week. He is racing again, and Squirrel for that matter. Squirrel got approved for Talladega. That bit of news just out today, actually.
That'd be cool.
But we'll finish up. Cleetus today went up in smoke. They popped an engine, massive engine failure, dumped oil all over the track. They created a huge situation behind them.
Had a smoke trail following him.
Yeah, wiped out Isabella Robusto. She got into that. It was wild.
I mean, honestly, up until that, Cleetus looking pretty solid.
They just look good. He got a huge run at one point on the high side and passed two cars in that corner, and he was feeling good on the radio too. But it was cool to see Cleetus is getting better. You can watch it each week.
Cleetus is a good ARCA driver. I mean, as much criticism as people give Cleetus, I don't think any of it is for his ability in a series like ARCA. I think that's where everybody who is any way critical of Cleetus being a NASCAR driver is critical because he's not sticking to stuff like that. But Cleetus and Arcus is amazing. I love every second of it.
Yeah. No doubt. We'll give a huge shout out. 3 women in the top 10 in this ARCA race. I thought that was very cool to see. Laney Busch ended up 5th. Jade Avedissian, her first mile and a half start, ended up 7th. And I give a monstrous shout out to Destiny Spurlock. She started deep in the field, got spun out late in the race, actually, by the leader, and then drove it back to 10th place in her, third race, I guess, and her first one on a big track. Very impressive there, and from all the women all around, and I thought that was really cool to see.
That's cool.
I agree. I thought Destiny had an awesome performance. I was really impressed with Jade, man. That was her first time on a mile and a half. I mean, just won that Cars Tour a race not long ago. I just I don't know. I see a lot of future in her, man. I really do. I think there's a lot of potential there for her to move on up to bigger series.
Yeah, I think all the potential in the world, and the most we've saw, and certainly no offense to any of the other women racers, but I think Jade probably the hottest prospect on the women front right now for me, and that proved it again. She got a good run on her first mile and a half. She's driving all types of things. You'll see her on dirt. You'll see her in Trans Am and these ARCA races, the Cars Tour, winning in the Cars Tour. Just very impressive.
That's the easiest way to make me a fan, is to drive everything. Yeah. That's I mean, you do that, now you have my attention. And she looked like she didn't just look like she belonged. She looked like, I mean, she had at times what looked to be like even like she could have got up there and challenged for the lead. So the future is very bright for Jade Avedissian.
Yeah. And we talked about these earlier. The 2 arguably best drivers in America and American Racing Series are guys that drive everything. Like we talked about with Weiler and with Larson. So that's the way to do it. Get your wheels on the track however you can do it.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's really cool, man. 3 ladies in the top 10. That's awesome. I mean, no matter how you feel, representation matters, and that just absolutely grows the sport that we love, like it or not. So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, people that can drive should be out there driving.
That's right.
Gio Ruggiero does not agree with that.
Yeah, we'll speak on Destiny, speaking of that inclusive, and we're very pro that, of course, and her as a black woman. I mean, that's absolutely huge.
It is.
I love it.
It is.
Yeah, I wish all the success to all of them, and they're backing it up. I mean, don't know what more you could ask for.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was going to be Jack Wood's day. He kind of dominated really a lot of the race, but it was not to be. Got turned by Gavin Boschel, opened the door for Gio Ruggiero, who had been fast all day as well. He'd been driving very aggressive all day, actually, but held off Daniel Dye back in the ARC Series, held him off for the win. And Daniel Dye news, I'll cut real quick today. Live Fast Motorsports have announced a 4-race deal for Daniel Dye. So, regardless of everything that happened, I suppose his dad's checks still are good.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah.
But
Um,
a lot of Live Fast talk this week, and that's my least favorite story I've heard of.
You get two options in that situation. You can either be the best driver in the world, like a previous mentioned guy who drove everything, or you can have a very rich family. And I don't think the having a very rich family one's going to work out as well. I don't think he's going to fall upward as much as just being the best driver in the world did.
Yeah.
Well, we have seen it not work out as well. So, I think that's the path we're on here.
Yeah, but none of that to deny Gio a big win for Ruggiero there as well.
Absolutely.
All that worth mentioning. But fun little ARCA race.
Because I actually was really happy to see Gio get a win. I like Gio.
Yeah, I like Gio as well.
I don't understand why he smacked into her quite like he did, but I guess it happens.
I think just misjudgment. I don't think that was anything intentional. A huge misjudgment. Like, it was a mistake, but nonetheless, I think just a mistake. And the closing speed in that situation, like that's something that we've saw throughout that, and even from sim racing. Like it was a slower car. Sometimes those closing speeds, it comes at you quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, good showing for ARCA. And,
oh yeah.
I mean, Cleetus being there puts a lot of eyes on it, man. The ARCA series can only benefit from having any involvement they can with Cleetus or Squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, even myself, I've never watched a whole lot of ARCA. When Frankie Muniz was running in it, I catch a few races just because I'm a big Frankie fan, since I was a kid. Guy's kind of my age and got real famous on a real cool show, so I try to watch him race. And then, with him running trucks now, I kind of was in the same boat I was before. It's like, if I can catch it, I'll catch it. But with Cleetus out there, I try to watch every race Cleetus runs. I think it's just fun. I think it's fun seeing somebody come from outside of the racing world, a guy who, a lot of ARCA drivers are sometimes drivers who do come from a lot of money, and the ones that are successful because there's a lot of pay-to-ride ARCA cars out there. And seeing a guy like Cleetus who does have a lot of money, but he didn't come from a rich racing family. Like his family weren't the guys that were putting him in a car at the age of 5 to go out and run. And I don't know, I think it's fun. It's cool seeing him out there.
Yeah, ARCA series fun to watch this year, and I think Cleetus certainly brings a lot of that overall. And Squirrel, I love Squirrel.
Yeah.
I like Squirrel too. Squirrel's awesome.
Squirrel's solid. I mean, he's out there keeping it clean. I think Squirrel's done a good job. I think Cleetus is performing a little better, although Cleetus certainly has some more racing under him at this point. But Cleetus has done Squirrel's done a fine job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And love that heat wave car. It's always so
The heat wave car
is, dude.
sweet.
It's awesome, man.
All right, we'll move along. We'll move down to Cordele, Georgia, where we saw the second ever IHRA Stock Car Series weekend. 2 races down there. Once again, very awesome. They added is on YouTube and on the Speed Sport again, and they added the legendary Ralph Shaheen to the commentary crew. So a huge name added there, and it was really good. All around. I love Cordele all around. It is literally in the middle of a watermelon field. If you run off the backstretch, you hit grass, and if you keep going, you end up in the watermelon field, and we've saw that before.
Nice.
But the drone shot's there, and they had that drone back, and when the car store there as well. But it's just a visually, at least for TV, a visually really cool facility. Really good races, both of these. As far as the actual races, the outing compared to their first time, the ante went up. I think people are realizing they can come and make some cash. We saw some names show up and some really awesome racing. The prolates, we saw Casey Roderick. He ended up with the win, but man, Nick Loden ended up second, and they had a hard-fought battle. They were beating and banging. I think Loden ended up getting spun there late. But it was really good. And then in the late model sportsman, Loden involved again. He was trying to get that one. Jeremy Mayfield was in this race. I want to note that as well. He did not do all that great. Although he said going in, it was a kind of thrown together situation. But I thought that was cool. But that race ended up, it was wild. They were running, these races do have time limits as well, and they were banging on that at the end of this because they had so many cautions. But we saw Tate Fogelman, who you may remember pulled off that sneaky truck win, I think Talladega a few years back. But he was down there and brought home the big win in the late model sportsman feature. But man, it was awesome. IHRA with a really cool second outing, I thought. Did you guys by chance get to peep any of this?
No, man, I didn't get to watch it, and I'm really disappointed because that first IHRA race that I watched was so good, and I really want to keep up with this series. Just slipped by me this weekend, and I'm very disappointed that it did, and I have to do a better job of keeping up with that because that is a fun racing series.
Man, likewise, this is the one thing that I was wanting to really get to before the show that I didn't get to. Because I was like shooting through looking for like the best highlight videos I could find for everything, taking notes, trying to get as good a view of anything as I could. The only thing I found on this was the full show, and I just didn't have time. So I was like, well, you know what? That's a treat for me anyway. I get to go back and watch that. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing as soon as we finish recording, is going on and turning that on and watching every minute of it.
Yeah.
But I'm real excited for this series, man.
Yeah, I highly recommend both of these races this week. They were literally good. They go use that fast forward button through some of those long cautions, but
yeah,
really good to see. And yeah, this series, I mean, a lot of controversy surrounding it, coming in, throwing the money, whatever. But hey, as a fan, I'm going to eat it up and watch what I can. Hopefully get to the next one down at Motor Mile or at Pulaski County. We'll see how that goes. But
it's always going to be Motor Mile.
Yeah, it's hard not to say it. But yeah, cool stuff. We'll move along. We also had high limit racing over the weekend. They were at the awesome Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. And this, speaking of cool facilities, this, man, it's hard to say, but this is one of the top dirt facilities in the country. It looks so awesome out there. I'd love to visit this track sometime. But we saw Kerry Madsen get his first win in 5 years for the Aussie. It was actually really cool to see. I like Madsen. He seems like a really good dude. But pulled off the win. Cy Lynch ended up second. Cy Lynch was coming, though, there at the end. He was throwing some wild ones to get there. Got within 0.7 of a second. But we saw some big sliders to this field. Rico, Avery, Brent Marks, Gio, Celsi, Aaron Retzel, Sunshine. They were all mixing it up. Pretty good race. And worth noting, they're back on FS1 this Tuesday night, High Limit Racing.
Okay. So,
yeah, man, can't wait for that.
All right, y'all send me a message so I can remember, because that's what happened last time. I was actually rewatching the podcast like 5 minutes before I came on and was reminded by watching the cast here. So y'all send the group chat a message tomorrow to remind me, just in case I'm not watching the podcast at the time.
I'm going to send you the podcast link and say, watch this, and then whatever happens. You know?
That's right. Get those views up.
That's right.
Yeah, another fun night of High Limit Racing. Always fun night, those guys. I love High Limit Racing. I love how they do the shorter races. It's very easy to digest, and I mean that positively. It's good stuff.
I will say that in that race, that one wreck with Sam's and Chase Randall,
yes.
They went to the wall there. Is it just me, or did that look like so painful?
Dude, that was brutal. That was brutal. We've saw several brutal accidents so far in this high limit, and I mean that is the nature of sprint car racing, unfortunately. But man, that one, the way he hit that wall was it was a little scary for a second.
But I agree with you. That is just an awesome track. And but like you were saying, some of the racing that was going on back there, man, with like Gio and with Selzy, and Rico, Tyler, Courtney,
Brand Marks.
Yeah. I was like, man, this is what sprint car racing is right here. I loved it. So
yeah,
awesome stuff.
They were just sliding each other, battling like it hurt all of them. Ultimately, I don't know that they all could. Any of one of them got away, got more towards the front, really. But I think they were just enjoying the battle, and we were too.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Just a real Lucas Oil Stadium's awesome, and High Limit just awesome show. Almost always, you're almost guaranteed to have an awesome show. So good stuff. Yeah,
for sure. Before we close out the Bullring report, we'll touch on their hometown speedway here. Princeton Speedway had their opening night. We unfortunately did not make it out there, but I did see they had it looked like a pretty good car count show up, which was
nice. That's good.
Very cool. They had 8 different divisions rolling. I think they had like 17 in the Legends Car Series and 12 or so in the 604 Pro Lights, several sport mods. Henry Hornsby III in Victory Lane in the late models. The sport mods, Bill Pritchett Jr. with the win, and Tristan Stevenson with the win in the Inex Legends series. So certainly wanted to shout that out. Hopefully, if all goes as well, some of us might make it out there this coming Friday night. We'll see.
Friday off work, so I'd love to come up and get to see y'all guys watch some racing.
Yeah,
some fun dirt tracking.
Yeah, so there you go. Get out to your local tracks, or any track for that matter, but check out your local ones, your regional ones. There's a lot of fun stuff to be had.
I was very encouraged to see the amount of Legends cars that showed up after that last year. I think that track could really become known for like Legends racing there, man. It was good racing on there last year when they did it, so we'll see.
Yeah, it was awesome. I saw that car count and all around, but certainly in that Legends series, and they are listed all these with that INEX Legend Series, which I do know is a big league or what have you around this region. So hopefully that's a partnership that keeps on giving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love the Princeton Speedway.
All right, we will wrap up this week's Bullring report. And that puts us on the cool down lap. We're going to take this thing home. But before we do, we're starting a little new segment here. We're going to call the Scheme of the Week. Scheme of the Week, you can pick any paint scheme or livery, if you will. Any car, any series, as long as it raced on a track this weekend. I mean, from the top to the bottom. If you pick a local ringer, that's fine. But yeah, Scheme of the Week, we're going to start the way I'm looking at it. Scheme of the Week, we'll start with Shawn.
So I'm going to be a bit of a homer this first time, but man, there's one I've really been digging the last couple of weeks, and I love Raj's scheme the last couple of weeks in the O'Reilly series. He's had the HendrickCars.com back on the car, but if Jordan Anderson, which means he's had those really cool bright yellow 32 and those yellow accents. I just think that, I mean, we see that a similar scheme a lot, but I think that little bit of touch just goes a long way and has made that car look really cool. It almost gives me like throwback Jimmy Johnson vibes with the colors and so I really liked that car the last few weeks. So that's my pick this week.
Good pick.
Yeah, excellent pick. I love that as well. The change of accenting and stuff with that HendrickCars.com. Who knew it would really change it so much, but it did, and it's awesome. Yeah, I agree.
It is, man.
All right, now we'll jump over to you, Jeff. Scheme of the Week.
All right, man. This one, I went back and forth. I've got some alternates here, but I'm not even going to mention those. I'm just going to pick one. I was hoping nobody got to this one before me because you wouldn't have known he was in the race unless you was there live because TV wasn't really showing him, and he was 3 or 4 laps down, I guess. I don't know. Ross Chastain and the Kvapil car, that Busch Light Apple car, I think that car always looks good, but I think it's the best it's ever looked this year. And it's just a shame that Kvapil car wasn't running up front so everybody could see it.
Yeah, I agree. That is a fine-looking ride. I love the Kvapil car. And, yeah, you didn't see much of it. All right, Si, Scheme of the Week.
Man, I've thought about this all day since you told us we were going to do this segment, and there's 2 that I really liked, and I know that I'm a little mad at them now, and I know that I say it's no longer watermelon summer, but I'm with Jeff, man. That Kvapil car rolled. We the Kvapil boys. How you gonna pass up the Kvapil car?
Yeah, tough to pass that Kvapil one. That was certainly on my list as well. But for my Scheme of the Week, I went outside of NASCAR and went with the Meyer Shank Racing Felix Rosenquist Honda and the Green Day livery, Green Day's Idiot Nation Sirius XM sponsored on the car. But I thought that was a really cool cross promotion and a cool scheme with the blue and then the green mixed in, which it was just a little different looking. So went a little out of the box there.
Nice.
Listen, and if you know us, every week the scheme is always the Kellogg's Cornflakes Kerry. Forever.
Our scheme.
Forever.
It's the scheme of lifetime.
That's right.
We're retiring that scheme. You can't.
That's right.
Like retired shirt.
The blue and black of that Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
Really good. I loved it so much too, but
I almost picked that.
Try the Kvapil from my cold dead hands.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I had on my list also Riley Herbst's Treetop car. I thought that was really cool looking. And I had Robert Wickens and Mason Felipe's Wealthspire Corvette over on the IMSA side. They had a navy and gold scheme that was really cool.
Actually, on my alternate list, I mean, I could say some usual suspects with me. One of them's an RFK car, but Buscher's Gold Peak car I had on there. I thought it looked great. But I really, honestly, one of my alternates was Max Verstappen's Red Bull car, and I thought that Red Bull car looked awesome. And the I can't even pronounce it. Was it Nuremberg?
Nürburgring.
Yes, that.
It's funny you say that.
Awesome. That might have been my favorite looking Red Bull car I saw.
Yeah, it was sweet.
It's funny you say that because I think SVG had the Red Bull scheme this week, and I was real close to picking. I think those cars always look good.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah.
All right, that finally moves us on to next week, and we are Dega bound, boys.
We were actually Dega bound.
Yeah, I wish we were too. One of these days.
If you are an old school listener of this show, you know how I feel about Talladega. So while I love a good weekend at the track, I'm always down for that. I'm not sure I want to go and watch that pack run around there for what feels like my entire life live. But I'd go.
You just don't have to babysit me the whole weekend.
God, ain't that the truth? We still ain't got that camper, so no Talladega.
The boulevard of broken dreams.
Hey, I saw videos of girls dancing at Talladega on the boulevard, but I think Size could show them up. I saw his moves.
Oh, yeah.
I got the moves.
No doubt. But nonetheless, we have to predict the winner for the Cup race at Talladega. Oh, man. All right, Cup race, Talladega winner. We'll start with Jeff.
All right. This one is a first-time winner. Okay. I'm picking a first-time winner. I think a super speedway is a good time for somebody to jump up that you may not would expect. This guy, I don't think people don't expect, but I got to take off my hat and change hats because getting his first Cup win this weekend is going to be Carson Hocevar at Talladega.
Hurricane Hocevar still in Talladega. It could happen. Size will cut to you. Who wins?
I was absolutely convinced that Jeff was going to steal my pick. But I'm also going with the first-time winner, and one that I would have guaranteed Jeff would have picked, Ryan Preece. Preece is going to get the win at Dega.
Yeah, Ford's like the Dega. I think that's a good choice. Shawn, what you thinking?
I am not going with a first-time winner, but when this guy wins, it may feel like the first time for him. He is also a fellow balding man, like most of the people on this podcast, as Size once pointed out many shows ago. And he is also a 3-time Cup Series champion. I am picking Matt's favorite, Joey Logano, to take the win in Talladega.
Yeah, good choice, Joey at Dega for sure. I am going to ride the Ford camp, but I'm going to make Jeff happy, and I think Brad Keselowski back in victory lane at Talladega this weekend.
Good pick.
I hope I'm wrong and either Matt or Size is right.
What's going on with the world where 3 of the 4 picks are Fords? I mean, I know super speedways have always been good for Ford in recent years, but is it showing something that the Chevy has dropped to where the only Chevy picked is a Spire, which is, considered like a mid-tier team pretty much?
Yeah.
I mean, is that saying something about the state of Chevys in NASCAR right now?
I think Chevys at Dega have been down for kind of since the next gen, though. I think they're a little better at Daytona than Dega, but I really do. I think they've been, and they probably have got some wins, but in that time, as I say this, but I think overall when you go Dega, you're it's hard not to think Ford all around. They always seem fast there. And then Toyota, obviously, this year killing it. But, I mean, as a point, I think a little bit down at Dega, really since the next gen. And, I mean, down a little bit this year. Hendrick certainly starting to figure it out or have figured it out, arguably. I guess not on the 24, but the Inspire, I guess, as well, but a lot of the Chevrolet struggling. So, I mean, it's Chevrolet. Everything's not perfectly sunny at Chevrolet all around, honestly.
No, I wouldn't have felt comfortable picking a Chevy if it wasn't for I'm just going with the chaos factor that Hocevar brings, and I think that might play him well into Talladega. That's the only reason I went Chevy. Otherwise, I'd have been picking a Ford as well.
I can definitely see Hocevar being the guy from Chevy to get a win. He seems like he is set up for it there. And like Matt said about, you think of Talladega, a lot of people think Ford, and I agree. And even more specifically, where me and him both picked a Ford from the same team, I think RFK Racing when I think Talladega for some reason. That's just a team that I think anytime they go there, any 3 of those drivers could win.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I thought Penske because they seem to always work so well together, and I don't know what their quote unquote team orders are, but they pretty much always stick together if at all possible, and that was the reason I thought this might be Joey's time to right the ship a little bit.
I could definitely see any of the Penske drivers. I mean, I would not surprise me if Joey, Blaney, or Cindric won this race at all. No. Like, it would not come as a surprise.
Yeah,
Penske. I also like there's something about the super speedways. Oh, sorry, Jeff.
Oh, no, I was just saying there's a reason there's the number 2 Ford team.
Yeah. But the noses of the Mustangs always seem, primed for getting that push at at the super speedways.
Yeah, Penske's really good at getting their guys up front and just kind of controlling the race. I think that is their strongest suit, especially at Dega. And sometimes it bites them in the end, sometimes it doesn't. But it's hard to not think they'll be a factor. All three of them, like you said. Cindric having a pretty good season, speaking of that third car, I think.
Kind of quietly getting some good finishes, you know. No huge flashes of greatness, but just enough, you know, goodness going along to be a decent season for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, gentlemen. Anything else from anywhere before we head out?
No, I think we're ready to, I guess, to see what happens on Talladega.
Yeah.
That's right.
Talladega weekend.
Watch NASCAR give Tyler Reddick another win.
Yeah. Watch him put all that horsepower in that car.
That's right.
Do you think?
I heard they're putting actual horses in it. They got it. And what they're doing is they're shrinking down these Clydesdale horses, and they're putting them underneath Tyler Reddick's car, so the horse hooves not only get speed, but to get traction from the horse hooves. That's what I heard on the internet, at least.
Genius.
I think you're on.
As a former horse owner for many years, none of that would work. But what I think actually happened is when Michael Jordan won that lawsuit, he said Tyler Reddick has to win as many races as Alex Palou. So as long as you see Palou winning, you're going to see a Reddick win happen. That's what really happened.
Tit for tat.
That's right.
You know what I think happened was
out there, all of our listeners, come up with the best, wackiest conspiracy theory that you can come up with and give it to us. And if you come up with a really good one, we may read it on the air.
There you go.
What actually happened is a billionaire actually spent money on his race team and put a very, very good driver behind the wheel, and now they're winning races.
That's
I don't believe
What
it.
a hot take.
I just want to know, is Denny speaking to Michael Jordan today? He was really mad yesterday. I don't think I've ever seen a guy that his car won that was that just mad about the whole thing, but I guess it's a different dynamic, I know. But.
All right, we'll stop horsing around and take this thing home. We will be back next week after Talladega and whatever madness happens there. Be sure to subscribe here on the Arson Brothers Network here on the YouTube. We just dropped their Milton Flea Market video. You can go back and watch it. Dropped it last Friday, and should be coming this Friday, our trip to Rockingham. We filmed a full vlog there. Going to get that up this week, so you definitely want to check that out. We had a good time there. Of course, check us out on the socials, High, Wide, and Handsome. We're on TikTok and Instagram, and Arson Brothers Entertainment, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for both of them as well.
Yeah, you know, like we're talking about, we're hoping to get to Princeton this weekend for the race, so I'm sure there'll be some clips, reels, talks, whatever you want to call them, on all those from our little local fun track. So make sure you follow those social media accounts so you can see what's going on up there.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, it's been fun. We will try it again next week. We say good night and good luck.